Hey there, welcome back to my channel Foodishbeauty. If you're new here, my name is TJ and welcome to my channel where I make beauty, travel and luxury goods video as well. Now, if that is the type of content you love to watch, then please make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell. I would absolutely love to have you join the family. Today's video is going to be a review on the brand new Huda Beauty's Neon Obsessions mini palettes. These are her brand new neon palettes for the summer season. There are 3 different themed palettes. So we have neon green, then neon orange, and then neon pink. As far as formula is concerned, there are only 2 major formulas within all 3 of the palettes. One is matte and the other one is shimmer. Now the shimmer shades within these palettes are quite loosely packed, I would say. They're not densely pressed. They're also not very dimethicone rich ingredients wise, so therefore they're not the most emollient type of shimmer shades, and the best way to apply them I found is definitely with a wet finger. I know that sounds so weird, but if you wet your finger, say with a makeup wipe or even just with your saliva, we all do it, let's just get past that, then that I found does yield the most pigmented result. They do apply quite well with the damp brush as well, but the most pigmented way is most definitely with a damp finger. As for the formula for all of the matte eyeshadows within these palettes, they do have dimethicone quite high up on the ingredients list, as well as talc and mica. Now, just in case you're allergic to any of those ingredients, I just wanted to point that out. But I really love the combination of this formula because it is very smooth and pigmented to apply. With formulation out of the way, let's move on to swatches. I think we're going to start with Neon Green Obsessions first. As far as packaging is concerned, there is a mirror in each one of these eyeshadow palettes, and the outer packaging is made entirely of hard acrylic plastic. Moving on, let's look at some swatches for the Neon Orange Obsessions palette. I absolutely adore this palette. There are so many warm shades in here. These are such summer-friendly shades. They would just go so well with the white tea. And lastly, we have the swatches for the Pink Neon Obsessions palette. There are quite a few shades in this palette that are similar to the Neon Orange palette, so I'll definitely put up some comparisons for you guys. Now we're done with the swatches and comparisons, let's move on to the application part of the video, which I think could be the most helpful part. I'll be using the Neon Green palette for this eye mainly, and then the Neon Orange Obsession palette for this eye, but also I will be using the Pink Neon Obsessions palette on both of the eyes as well, so hopefully you guys can really see just how well these eyeshadows perform. To start off the eyes, I applied the shade Matte number 3 from the Green Neon palette, and as you can see on top of a primer, the screen actually stands out really well. As you can see, there is no patchiness to it. It also blends out really well as well in the crease. In the center of the lid, I just used my finger to apply the shade Shimmer number 6. I think these glitter shades from the palettes are most definitely applied much better with just your fingers. For the outer corner of this eye, I decided to go in with the shimmer shade number 7. As you can see, when I first applied it with my finger, there was quite a lot of fallout, and also it wasn't quite adhering to the primer that obviously has starting to dry up. So I decided to go in with a damp brush. As you can see with the pencil brush, I was able to obtain a little bit more precision with the application. Now towards the inner corner of my eye, just this little section here, I used the green gold shimmery shade number 2, and equally I'm starting to find that with these shimmer shades the best application is definitely using a damp finger, picking up some of that product and then apply to your lids. For the very inner corner of my eyes, I used my trustworthy Zoeva 238. I dampened this with a little bit of Fix Plus and went in with the shimmery shade number 5, and I found the intensity was good enough. Now guys, I just darken up the lighting a little bit, and I hope you can see the kind of fallout we're dealing with here as well. I tried my best to minimize the fallout of these glitter. I used very adhesive methods, but as you can see, you will have to do a little bit of cleaning up afterwards. For transition, I went in with the shade Matte number 7, which is a beautiful matte peachy transitioning shade with the brush Zoeva 231. I used this shade to warm up the crease, and then I also added a little bit more of that matte number 3, which is the lime green, as well, as it was disappearing a little bit. I'm really happy to see that these two colours didn't blend muddy and they didn't cancel each other out. Because this is more of a whimsical neon look, I actually went in with my favourite eyeliner, Milk CEO, and that was starting to look super stark because it was more of a black brown eyeliner. So I decided to actually go in and just stamp a little bit of this matte pink on top. I actually custom made this colour using a little bit of Vaseline, a little bit of the CEO, and mixed with just a tiny bit of this matte pink, and this is the colour you can see right here. For my lower lash line, I started by anchoring the lash line with a little bit of CEO gel liner. Once again, by anchoring I just mean to darken my lower lash line. To echo the pink liner on top, the base colour I'm going to put down on the outer corner is this matte purple shade, which is matte number 6. To soften this purple, I'm going to use the colour matte number 1 in the pink neon palette, just to blend it out a little bit and drag it down as well. Finally, to connect the lower lash line with what we've done on top, I'm just going to go back in with the matte number 7, this peachy shade right here in the neon green palette. Using the Zoeva 231 Petite Crease brush, I'm just going to connect my lower lash line with what I've done on the top. So now this is what the finished eyeshadow looks like. You guys can see I've cleaned up all the glitter. I had to use a little bit of concealer at the end as well. I also added a tiny bit of that pink glitter from the neon pink palette as well, just to the very center of my lower lash line. And this is the finished result from one of my eyes. For this eye, I'm going to use mainly the orange neon palette, so therefore I'm going to go in with a kind of orange popsicle shade to start with, which is matte number 7. Very much like the neon matte green, I'm just going to lay that all over my mobile lid. Again, this shade is applied on top of my NARS Smudge Proof Primer. As you can see, it has laid down without any patchiness. It is also very easy to blend, just like the matte neon green. Now let's move on to adding some shimmer and glitter to this look. To start off, I'm going to add in shimmer number 9 for the slight inner corner, and then for the middle of the mobile lid, I'm going to use the shade shimmer number 2. But to amplify that oranginess, I am mixing the matte number 3 with shimmer number 2, just so these two can bring a little bit more warmth to the very center of my mobile lid. For the very outer corner, I used a damp Morphe M431 brush and added the shimmer shade number 4. Now, to make everything mellow out a little bit, I'm just going to use this matte shade right here, just so everything looks a bit more blended and a bit more mellow. For the lower lash line, I started by anchoring the lash line with Milk Makeup CEO liner, and then we're going to go in with a little bit of matte neon pink from the neon orange palette. This shade, as it turns out, is such a beautiful matte coral. I could actually really do with one of these as a blush. It's so beautiful. To blend out the rest of the lower lash line, I'm actually just going to use this matte shade right here and just do a little bit of soft blending, nothing more. Now, very lastly, I'm going to add in a tiny bit of shimmer to this lower lash line, and because the top mobile lid is looking very orange heavy, I've decided to add just a little bit of this beautiful blue from the green neon palette to the very center of my lower lash line. Well guys, that is pretty much it. I hope the application part of this video really showed you just how well these eyeshadows can perform on top of a really good eyeshadow primer. I have no doubt they would perform even better if you were to put them on top of a white or black base. Now lastly, do I think you need all 3 of these shades to have a bit of neon fun for the summer? Most likely not. I think the green one is definitely my favorite. There are some very unique shades in here. My next favorite is definitely the neon orange. If you're a warm eyeshadow lover, you'll be sorted with this one. Now the neon pink Obsession is definitely very similar to the orange, so you can definitely just go with one of these two. In conclusion, I absolutely love these neon Obsessions mini palettes. I have always adored Huda Beauty's mini palette. I also applaud her for not using too much carmine in any of these palettes other than the pink neon obsessions palette. I think these mini palettes are definitely a fun way to get you started on the neon trend, and definitely not something that will break the bank. So all in all, I highly recommend these neon mini palettes from Huda Beauty. I think they're just super fun for the summer season. Well, that is it, my friends. I hope you really enjoyed this video. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. I would absolutely appreciate it, and give this video a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed it and found it helpful. Thank you once again for watching. Please do find me also on Instagram, where I upload daily vlog type of content as well as updates from my usual videos. Please also leave me a comment down below to let me know which one of these neon palettes have you picked up so far, or which one you are thinking about getting. I always love chatting to you all. Thank you once again for watching. Take care, my friends, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!